I want to talk a little bit about money and banking. Oh man, it's so crazy out there. I've been thinking about what to do with what little bit of money I have. Do I feel comfortable with it all being, well, most of it being in one bank? I have, I'm a coin roll hunter, so I have several bank accounts and a little bit spread out, but I have the majority in a big bank, Chase. And I recently saw a video talking about the vulnerability of Chase right now, and it gets you nervous. I don't like what's going on in Washington. I don't trust anything coming out of the executive branch these days. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's just insanity that's going on. When you have people on panels being asked by Congress, how do you define a woman, and they don't know the answer, you know we're playing in a crazy world. Yeah, it's just complete insanity. Anyway, I got to thinking and looking into what do I do with the money. There's lots of different people talking a lot of different stuff. One of them is real estate. I'm an average Joe. I don't have a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money, but everything that I have is paid for. I don't have debt. No debt. Rich dad, poor dad. He's a pretty clever fellow. He's a millionaire. He says to use debt for real estate, and I understand what he's saying. It's different. Dave Ramsey says get out of debt, and I think it's two different philosophies there. Dave Ramsey says, quit spending your money on interest. Credit card interest. Some of them are as high as 37%. Some of them are just in the teens if you have a good one. It's all ridiculous. And so you don't want to be throwing your money away on interest. The banks are just, why would they ever be closing the money they make on the interest? I don't get it. But anyway, I'm leery about leaving what chunk of money I have in a bank account, which it's not making any money sitting there anyway. So what do? So I've thought about real estate. And I don't have enough to just go out right now and buy a piece of real estate on my own. I'll have to either use debt or maybe some of the online real estate where you can buy chunks of things. I've read some about that. Most everything I've heard about that is pretty good, but I don't know enough about it yet to know how safe I feel that it is. Warren Buffett says buy businesses. Buy a business. And that's a pretty good idea. And there are businesses that you can buy or start without too much money. I have a family member that purchased a little Healthies, I believe it's called. It's kind of like a little smoothie shop, and she does real well. She runs it. I think that she could hire people to run it, and she would still make a profit. So there's an option of that. That's a possibility. Some people say hide your money very safely, get a safe or something like that. And I do think that there is some wisdom. Cash on hand, have cash handy, because you just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Is something crazy going to happen, a riot or something insane, where all the businesses close or something like that. It could happen. We saw in 2000 crazy stuff happening, and it could happen again. What else? Silver and gold and commodities, I think, is an excellent idea. I've been stacking silver from coin roll hunting for several years. I've got a chunk. I don't have a fortune. I've got a chunk put away, which I'm glad that I've got. I have even started buying a little bit of silver now. It was down to 22.5 an ounce, and so I started buying it. Of course, the week after I start buying it, jumps back up to 25. That's frustrating. But 25 is still low, I do believe. I think it's going to quadruple that eventually. So I'll probably do that. I have several $100s in IFC coins and stuff like that I don't know if they're going to do me any good. So I'm thinking about cashing them in and turning them into silver. I just don't like paying high premiums. I can't stand doing that. So I'll be careful. I'll look around and see if I can find a decent price. It doesn't have to be real new, fancy, pretty coins for me. It just needs to be 0.9999 silver. What else? Oh, cryptocurrency. DeFi. I have some money there. It's not as good or safe. I don't know. It was supposed to be originally completely out of government and that sort of entity's hands, but it does seem like through different government regulation, they can control it to some degree. In China, it's illegal. So if we become the next China, it'll be illegal here. I know that people in China still own it, but they have to do it hiding it. But right now, it's still legal here, and I think it's another alternative. Another thing, now the particular account I use, the Crypto.com. It's it's a pretty big one. But what I like about it is, and this is the debit card that I have with them. It's a metal debit card. But depending on the account that you get through Crypto.com, I think I get 1.5% cryptocurrency back every time I use this. But the cool thing is, actually, I just set up this account inside my cryptocurrency, and I can put all the fiat cash into that. I can spend my fiat cash, U.S. currency, and put it into this account, and then I can just use this card anywhere that cards are taken. This is a Visa. And so that's kind of cool. So I like to do that. And I can put, however much I feel safe with in that account. And I'll have a link to that below if it's something you want to look into. For the account that I have, I had to tie up $400 in their cryptocurrency. It's called Crow. And I can always cash it in when I want to, but in order to have the benefits for this account, you have to keep that staked. Another thing, there's different cryptocurrencies that you can buy, like Bitcoin, but different ones they offer, if you stake it, earning annual percentage rates. And there's one of them that I've got, I don't know, $1,000 or something in, called Polkadot, and I earn 11% annual on that one. I think I have a little bit more than that. Anyway, I have several different cryptocurrencies, and that one earns me 11%, which is better than the others. But to get the 11%, you have to stake the currency for 3 months at a time, and then when my 3 months are up, if I don't need the money, or if I don't need to cash it in, then I just turn around and restake it. I've been doing that for 2 or 3 years, and it grows. I have considerably more now than I did when I bought it the first time. And I think that's a pretty good idea, having some cryptocurrency. I don't think I would tie up everything I have in it, for sure. But something that I looked into that is a possibility that, in fact, I think I'll go do it this week. I looked up credit unions. It's like, is a credit union as safe or as vulnerable as a bank? And they appear to be much safer than banks. We still live in this volatile world where, is anything safe? I don't know. But nobody to date, according to the article that I read today, has lost $1 in a credit union due to the credit union failure. Credit unions are based on small businesses and individuals. They don't take as big a chances on great big wild, lending and loaning and money-making schemes. They're just, you know, a whole lot safer. And so I think I'm going to, like I said, I've got several bank accounts. And I've got big bank, I got little bank. But I think I'm going to go ahead and join a credit union and put some of my money from my big bank over into the credit union. Spread it out, I think, is one idea. You know, early this year, a couple of big banks out west closed. Big banks. And now this article about Chase being vulnerable. Something's going to happen in September. They're laying off people. They've been losing money. They've been writing off debt loans, big money, billions of dollars. And so, I don't know. That doesn't mean they're going under, but it doesn't mean they're not. So I'm going to move some things around. Good luck out there. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about the credit union idea? See ya.